this Storytime, damn it. This actually did happen to a real person, and that real person is me. I had gone to catch a train. This was April of 1976 in Cambridge, UK. I was a bit early for the train. I got the time train run. Ow! I went to get myself a newspaper to do the crossword, and a cup of coffee, and a packet of cookies. I went and sat at the table. I want you to picture this very clearly in your mind. Here's the table, newspaper, cup of coffee, packet of cookies. There's a guy sitting opposite me, perfectly ordinary looking guy wearing a business suit, carrying a briefcase. Didn't look like he was going to do anything weird. What he did was this. He suddenly leaned across, picked up the packet of cookies, tore it open, took one out, and ate it. Now this, I have to say, is the sort of thing that the British are very bad at dealing with. There's nothing in our background upbringing or education that teaches you how to deal with someone who has, in broad daylight, just stolen your cookies. You know what would happen if this had been South Central Los Angeles? There would very quickly have been gunfire, helicopters coming in, CNN, you know. But in the end, I did what any red-blooded Englishman would do. I ignored it. I stared at the newspaper, took a sip of coffee, tried to clue in the newspaper. Couldn't do anything, and thought, what am I going to do? In the end, I thought, nothing for it, I'll just have to go for it. But I tried very hard not to notice the fact that the packet was already mysteriously open. I took out a cookie for myself. I thought that settled him. But it hadn't, because a moment or two later, he did it again. He took another cookie. Ow. Having not mentioned it the first time, it was somehow even harder to raise the subject the second time around. Excuse me, can't help but notice. I mean, it doesn't really work.
Yeah?
We went through the whole packet like this. Got through the whole packet. I mean, there was only about 8 cookies, but it felt like the last time. He took one, I took one, he took one, I took one. Finally, when we got to the end, he stood up and walked away. Well, we exchanged meaningful looks, then he walked away. I breathed a sigh of relief and sat back. A moment or two later, the train was coming in, so I tossed back the rest of my coffee, stood up to pick up the newspaper. And underneath the newspaper were my cookies. The thing I like particularly about this story is the sensation that someone in England has been wandering around for the last quarter century, a perfectly ordinary guy. It's the same exact story, only he doesn't have the punchline. The end. Oh my god, there's a green guy on the television.